everyone. How are you?
Hey.
Look who I have with me.
Weird, right?
It's weird seeing his face.
Like the dude energy in your face. Right
No,
that,
it's good. I realized we were matchy-matchy. Look at that. Blue is the color of the day and every day.
It's a fantastic color.
No, I told David to jump on because, I don't know, it just feels like it's been a hot minute. And I thought we would just sit for a few minutes and chat before we jump in and start playing to creating. I can't believe July is almost over.
July is almost over, and what a July it has been.
It's been crazy around here.
It's been.
You guys have been so patient with the events. I know we've had to reschedule a few things, which we typically try to avoid. But July, it just seems like it's been hit and miss. So
it has been.
We appreciate your understanding and your patience as we got through this crazy month. And we're kind of recovering a little bit, I will say.
Well, I just got back from the airport, dropping off
Madison,
the last of our visitors,
our guest,
for the wedding. So it's bittersweet, you know.
Yeah.
You look forward to opportunities to have people come in back into your orbit that have left for a while, including friends and family and so on and so forth. And we did get a lot of that over the last while.
We had 16 people in this house. It was crazy. 20 at one point.
We don't have 16 beds. So we'll leave it to all our guests that you might bump into someday to explain the situation.
We had air mattresses and other things. Let's just say the scrapbooking room table got pushed to the side.
Air mattresses went up. Many couches got used.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot of late nights too. That's what I meant by recovering. I feel like I have black bags under my eyes and no, it's good. So lots of memories.
I will say that's what I was about to say. A lot of pictures got taken, a lot of memories. We did some family photos while some of our family was in town.
We threw that in. Yeah. Why not throw another thing in? Throw it all in.
But there'll be much to scrapbook here coming up. So there's a lot of life lifed this month.
Life lifed.
And that means more pages for the albums, more memories.
Which, more memories, more scrapbooking time, and how great is it to have that inspiration at your fingertips? And so today's events is kind of all about that. So yes, jump in, say hi. Definitely feel free to share this video with your friends and your family as well, as we share a little bit about, of course, having that inspiration at your fingertips, but also utilizing sketches. Specifically, we'll be picking some from the Kiwi Lane idea books. I pulled these out, guys. This is the series of idea books I have. I don't know, it's kind of blurry. But we have idea book number 1. For those of you that have it in physical print. I know a lot of you guys are asking.
It's a throwback, right?
Yeah.
It's funny. I have a lot of memories that come to me when we saw these older books.
Yeah.
So fun to work on.
Number 2. So we have number 2 here. We have volume number 3, which this one's still in the shop. So you could definitely still get your hands on volume number 3. Lots of good ideas in there. And then, of course, we have volume number 4, which features a heavy dose of sketches and inspiration in that. Well, I might add, all of them have a heavy dose. There's like no ads. It's just a true idea book. I remember when we created number 1 idea book, that was something we were like,
it was a big deal, right?
Stubborn on. We wanted it to be full on just inspiration.
We weren't creating a magazine, right? With a few sort of pages of inspiration and a whole lot of advertisements.
Yeah.
It was a book full of ideas leading up to its name. So,
full on content. Lots of good content in there related to having that inspiration at your fingertips. So I'll just throw it out here at the beginning. I am doing a special, guys, whether it's the physical idea books or the digital idea books. We have them on sale right now in the shop. So if you go over and you click on the products and then underneath products, click on the idea book category, we have those on sale right now. So no coupon needed on this one. Simply the discount's already applied. It's 20% off all physical idea books and 30% off all digital idea books. We're still going to play around and play to create a little bit today, but I just want to make sure we throw that out there. I'm like hesitant, but I'm like, as we prep for a new one coming down the pipeline, I guess I should say.
Yeah. Did we just say something? Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
A little birdie.
No,
I told you guys in the community, we're working on one behind the scenes.
Right.
So And this one will be very like education meets like inspiration.
Yeah, good information meets inspiration in that
at your fingertips. And that's powerful to have it at your fingertips.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah, it'll be a good one. It'll be a good one. Very excited about it.
When I say we're working on the sidelines, literally we're working on it, the sidelines. So a number 5 will soon be added to this lovely collection of idea books.
Which is a great number.
It is.
It's like a handful.
It's a high five.
Handful, a high five.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fantastic.
So that is a flash sale. So specifically these discounts are just special because of this event that we're doing today. So it will go through the end of July 31st. So tomorrow. So before this month is over, make sure if you've been wanting, on your wish list, whether it's digital idea books or some of these physical ones, the sketchbook volume 3 and 4 are in the shop. And these are, they're kind of like once we print them once or twice, then we don't print them again because you have to print big quantities of the physical idea books.
Actually, a question here from Angie, and he plans on offering 1 and 2 in print again. And that's
why we don't. Yeah. Correct. That's why we offer the digital version after they go out of the print, is because we have to, huge quantities have to be ordered for these to make them even cost effective. Yeah. And so that's why when 3 and 4 go out, like that's it. Like they'll most likely not be unless, years down, huge customer base grows and all of this stuff. And everyone's, we have a high demand. But unfortunately, even just like 5 or 100 or 1,000, it's not cost effective for us to do that because we would be sitting on them. And then we have the overhead and the warehouse space and all of that, because they also take up a lot of that space. Right. So, I mean, we're talking like behind the scenes business stuff, but that is absolutely why when the prints go out, we don't reprint often of these idea books. So
I'm a hard copy.
Because of the cost.
I'm a hard copy guy.
Unfortunately, I know.
I like those hard copies. So I don't know if are you all like the kind that like to have the hard copy in your hand,
for sure.
or do you enjoy the digital, maybe on your phone or your iPad or your computer?
Yeah.
I know there's people that end up sort of in different camps.
I mean, if you can only get the digital, then like
awesome.
you can only get it, then get it. Because it's worth having, and you can definitely still make notes in digital and format and stuff.
You can do all the fancy
things,
right?
But let's just face it, there is something great about physical, and I understand that. I understand that as well.
Is it just that I'm old?
No.
It just could be that I'm old. So.
No. I don't know. I just feel like it's so fun to sit at the beach, and I have pictures of me sitting at the beach flipping through this, and just with my little Post-its and making little notes and things like that.
Yeah, gloriously old-fashioned. I don't know.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll stick to that through the years. Maybe we'll go full digital.
Well,
who knows?
No, I like offering a physical, but like I said, it's once we go through the initial print run, it's hard to do another print run. So.
Okay, I'm not.
With that
I'm not
said,
crazy. A lot of hard copy people.
Yes, a lot of hard copy people. We like our physical. There's so much satisfaction that come with that. It is. Yeah. It's just more. It feels more.
I will say the
tangible.
Digital is convenient.
It is convenient.
Really convenient to be able to pull up wherever, whenever that you want to sort of flip through it and bring it with you. It's a little less weight to take maybe on a crop.
There's a place for both. There's a place for both. But these signature idea books that we have. We'll keep trying to offer a run of physical for those that like the physical sure.
But once again, those 2, 3, and 4, right?
Yeah, 3 and 4, they're still in stock. They are running lower, but so again, take advantage of that. They're 20% off for the physical right now for the next 24 hours, and then 30% off for the digitals, which the digitals are like the smaller versions that we throw out there. Again, not really cost effective for us to print them. And then combine that with shipping and other factors. It's not even cost effective for you guys at the end of the day too sometimes. Right. So those are all things that we consider. And so, but when 2 and 3 do leave the shop, like they won't be printed again. And I just explained why.
Yeah,
so,
right.
So that's your chance. If you haven't had a chance to at least grab those, even if you missed volume 1 and 2, make sure you grab those. All right.
I feel like we've talked to a few people at trade shows that will, if they don't have access to the hard copy, kind of make a hard copy version themselves. So you can get that digital one. You could choose to, send it to Staples or something.
Yeah, a lot of people do that with the monthly Kiwi Club digital idea book. They'll print it off.
Print them off and then just kind of put them
them in a binder.
Themselves. Yeah. good options. So
yeah. I never print all of that from home though, but personally.
Probably send it in and
it just probably won't quench as great with quality.
Not the same.
Just not the same. Well, I hope you guys love these idea books. It really is very sentimental for me. It's not often that I pull them all out and see them all stacked next to each other. I mean, they're all stacked next to each other on my shelf and stuff, but I don't know, it's just something grand about holding these together.
Work and love. There's history here.
Lots of history, a lot of memories, a lot of inspiration, even for myself. Just packed full of just lovely, all of that in a package. And I think maybe it's also hitting me because we are coming up on 16 years here at Kiwi Lane in August. More details on that later. We won't. We'll kind of jump into what this event's about and get started. But I definitely wanted to mention those few things and get a chance just to hang out and chat for a moment because it's been a while, guys. It's been so long.
It has been.
All right.
Thanks again for all your patience. I'm gonna make some space for her to go to work here. So
we could do an overhead really fast. All right. Okay, so here's what this fun event is all about. Like I mentioned, we're going to take a peek at some inspiration in our idea books. And just for the next 20, 30 minutes, we'll see, as we start to play to create, we'll just experiment with different photo sizes. We'll flip the sketches orientation. We'll try new perspectives, all of that good stuff that Sketches has so much to offer, whether it's a Kiwi Lane sketch or just a random sketch you find on Pinterest or other places. There is a lot of inspiration and also versatility that leads to creative expression found within whether you're scrap lifting or a sketch, right? Because a sketch is a form of that inspiration being borrowed, so to speak. But there's so many ways to kind of make it your own and to let that be that springboard really when and where you need it. And some days I don't need that springboard and other days I do. So I think we all feel that and we know that. So we're just going to hand pick a sketch, and I definitely can use your guys's input here. So throw me a number in the chat. David, the first number you see, let me know. And I'm going to flip to that page and we're going to start with that inspiration and that idea found on that page for that. Okay. It is fun. We're going to just do it randomly, guys. And we're just going to try fresh ideas without, definitely just playing to create with that. Not necessarily going all the way to the finished layout. So we're not going to commit to the layout, but we're just going to play to create and see how fast these inspiration and ideas come to light as we adopt sketches to fit different suggestions by you guys. So I'm going to count on you guys to give us those suggestions. Okay, what do we got?
First number I saw from Gail, 116.
116. Oh, you know what? I'm in the sketchbook. Yep. And it's all the way back here, 116. Maybe we'll do
last page.
One last page. Maybe we'll do one from the sketchbook in volume 3 and then this one. So the next one we'll do volume 3. But this is a really fun one. This is actually a fall version. And so once again, we want to adopt that. So I'm not going to do fall. We want to steer away from fall. And we want to explore different pictures. So somebody give me a number 5 to 11.
Between 5 and 11.
Yeah, 5 and 11 in that spectrum. And we will see how we adjust the pictures and utilizing this sketch in the mix of that as well. All right. Okay. We have a number. Oh, Lisa says 5. Gail says 7. 6. 5 is super easy, Lisa. It's so easy to add 5 layout pictures.
Marie goes all the way up to 11.
Yeah, go all the way to 11. Okay, let's start at 7 because that seems like a few of you guys mentioned 7.
Thanks for going easy on us.
Yeah, thanks for Lisa going easy on us, Lisa. This sketch actually already has 4 in mind, so we wouldn't have to adapt it too much. But we can also go to 7 to 11. 7, 11. That's classic. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump downwards here. And again, I'm going to leave this sketch kind of opened on that. And then I'm going to put my phone over there and we'll see here what we got. Now, I will say this sketch here with this after example also found, and you'll notice again in this idea book, you do have some after samples, but mostly it's sketches with a few after samples linked to the associated sketch. And this again is our sketchbook volume 4 that we're kind of looking at right now. This one also, you'll notice that the recipe, so to speak, is right here. It tells you which borders and accessories and different layout or tinies and things like that we use template wise. But in this, we do have some vaulted. So this one was printed in 2021 was when this last digital idea book was printed. So I definitely think it's time for a new one. But in the works. So whenever, of course, you have that, you may not have exact, templates or borders. Of course, that's another way of naturally you can adapt, and it's pretty common to do so. So don't let that derail you or limit you, so to speak, in that. All right. So in this one, it said Abbey Road 1A, 1B. Does anyone have a border that they have been dying to use lately, or, interested in using? I'll give you a few minutes. Otherwise, I'll grab one myself here. So a good one is Aspen Court. I mean, I will say I love Abbey Road. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love Abbey Road, which is named after my daughter, Abby, who just got married. So maybe I should have used Abby, but that's okay. We're going to go with Aspen. We'll go with Aspen here and pull that border out. So for me, I do mention this all the time. And even if it's from a sketch approach, if you're using a springboard like a sketch, I still think it's so valuable to just select a border, any border. Really, you can't go wrong. Some borders are more thematic, like Coastal Highway, but for the most part, these borders really pull on the paper, the aesthetic of the paper that you're using. So whether you go from a Christmas layout to a birthday layout to a wedding layout, it's all about the aesthetics of the paper. So from this first step, this design principle that is so powerful, we talked about how nice it is to have that tangible inspiration at your fingertips when it comes to idea books. The designer templates are no different. Having that inspiration at your fingertips, if you allow yourself to play, will allow you to feel inspired and be inspired through that playing time that you have. All right, Joan says, combo borders with mini borders. Okay, we could throw some minis in there. Why not? So again, I know you guys can't see it too well, but let me see if I can slide that down so we can kind of keep the sketch at the top. So in this sketch, we have border a bottom and a top, which is pretty, great for any type of paper that you're using, whether it's one directional or rotating when it comes to main pattern. But I will say, actually, all right, the sample is a Go version. You'll see here, they did a top and a bottom, right? And this pattern that is being used is one directional. So this is why this top and bottom version is really great for situations like that. But it just automatically creates this nice frame, right? And not even frame. The reason why I say the borders are a great place to start is because it starts to create a foundation, a structure. So remember this, there's two ways you can start a layout. When you start utilizing the designer templates, whatever the layout design that you're using, borders or backdrops. And those are two different categories we have in a shop for a reason. And so if you're wondering, well, what defines as a backdrop, go to the shop and kind of check out the category and see that. But in this case, we'll go with our borders. And Joan said, let's use some mini borders. So because large bracket is currently vaulted, if you have it, pull it out, because I will say it's a classic. But you know what? We'll take Joan's suggestion and we'll throw some mini borders as that second layer. So again, we're going to adapt this sketch to kind of accommodate our needs. So you know what? I'm going to do that before I throw some photos in. And let's go. What sketch should we, or mini, should we use mini scallops? So mini, yeah, it has a fun feel about it. Kind of adds a little bit more decorative. I think honestly, any of the minis could have worked. We just unvaulted minis. So if you don't have them yet, I think we still have a few of those bundles left in the shop. So see how we can add a fun little, it changes it up with the minis, but actually I think that's kind of cute. Mm-hmm. And it creates this little section over here, which might, we might pivot and be inspired as we go. So even if you derail from a sketch, of course, follow that inspiration. And that's really what we're doing. When you find that inspiration, follow it, right? I think there's an image for that, Dave. So definitely looking for inspiration and then following that through. So find your inspiration, make it yours, and play to create. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly what we want to accomplish here. All right, let's throw in those photos. Let's throw in 7. It's a given. I always use my photo templates. Doesn't matter what layout, what templates I'm using. There's not a layout. I do not pull out these photo templates. So I have those close by and ready to go. So let's say we do want 7. You could throw in, again, because we're talking about adapting photos or elements on your page and the approach in which ways to kind of simplify that and less overthinking and more just playing and discovering and experimenting with it as you go along. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, let's see. We'll throw in. Where did my 3x4s go? I must have them displayed somewhere. That's okay. Let's go with another.
Good example of needing to adapt for a variety of reasons, including you may not have what you need.
Including maybe, there we are. I was about to blame my kids again, but I just put them in the wrong. I put them in my photo mats, which sometimes happens. Oh, brother. Okay. You know what? I threw 8 on here, and maybe you don't know which ones you of course, can resize or different things like that. And we talked a little bit about this in the last layout share that I did with Shiloh, about how when you're picking out your pictures, because if you haven't checked out, I'm going to get a picture here, that event, that replay, it's a really good one. Again, just a refresher on some of those key principles on adding a lot of pictures, and not even adding a lot of pictures per se, it's just picture placement and how kind of just experimenting with that can really shift and change and enhance your pages for you. But with that said, we talked a little bit about when you are like, it's easy to throw 7 templates down here, right? But you're like, I'm not quite sure orientation or size cropping or things like that, right? Now, you may know you want to use 7 pictures, or you may know you want to use 10 pictures. So that's easy. That's a good point that it's easily, you'll probably know right off the bat. So the other way, of course, this is just a quick little tip where you could take your pictures, and at this very step is where you would take your pictures and you would just maybe do a quick check on those pictures. And then usually what I do, I don't have a whole stack of pictures. Like where oh, here's another one. We'll grab this. You could one, either on the back of the pictures, if you decide, like you go through this not guessing, but decision-making phase, you could just simply on the back, take a pencil and say, okay, I'm going to do 4x4. Right? So that you don't forget. And then you pick up your next picture in your pile and you would do the same thing. If this picture was more of the main attraction or the main theme, then you don't want to crop it down. You could just say 4x6. Even though this is a 4x6 and this is a 4x6, I still play with my templates because until you solidify that design, again, whether it's from a sketch or, any inspiration, or you're just playing freely, you really don't want to be 100% locking in. So you might put this 4x6 down, but in the middle of it say, you know what, I'm going to try to change it out for a 4x5. And being able to do that, you'll be able to visualize it and then help you to make those decisions easier, less painful, right? We don't want decision fatigue. That's no fun. We want to enjoy the process, and sometimes just a little bit of taking those guessworks out really helps eliminate that. Okay. So basically, here's a few more pictures. So I would have my pile of 7 pictures, and I would go through them one by one and maybe write on the back, right, of those. And then even here, even if we wanted to go strictly down to a 3x4, we could, in this case. And it's an interesting thing when you think about it. Sometimes, often we think, I don't want to crop that out. Like, this picture as it is beautiful, right? Like, it's a 4x6. It's like really focused in on them and framed nicely. So you think, well, I don't need to crop that. But here's the interesting thing. One, when you aesthetically choose to crop some things on your page, it helps with the visual flow of your page. So being willing to crop things, not having them all 4x6, actually really will elevate your page from a visual point to help the viewer, the future generations, to kind of follow along with your creative expression, but also follow along with the story that you're telling more freely. But also, like I said, this is beautifully framed, but I will say the moment I put this 3x4 on here, look how like instantly, just even if you did choose to crop this down to a 3x4, that little zoom in also, it almost enhances it in a different way. So this may apply sometimes, not all the time, but don't be afraid to adapt it. Even when it comes to cropping your pictures, don't be afraid to adapt your 4x6s into other versions. So let's say I did that process, that step that I just said, and we went through and we did 7 pictures. Then at that point, right, is when you can start to kind of fill in the rest of your frame. And that's why I kind of like to solidify, even though it's not permanent. Clearly nothing is permanent at this point. We just want to kind of build that game plan, so to speak, like we talked about. It's easy just to kind of slide things around and fill in those, the rest of the frame, right? So what do we have? 6 right there. Okay, but like say we did want to throw in the 7th. Well, if you wanted to keep it blocky and you're okay with that, like that is definitely one option. I'd probably even merge these together to create a grid. If I chose to do something like that, you could also adjust this a little bit. Now I'm going to pull up the sketch again, because here's a really fun thing about this specific sketch that we picked. This is kind of fun and different and simple. And that's why I'm always attracted to little things like this. We have a double frame here and a slide in to that picture. So let's see what we can come up with when we maybe utilize that inspiration and what we can kind of come up with. Let's say we did do a 4x6 and then we come in and experiment, right? We're going to experiment. So that's kind of how it was displayed. Maybe it was 2 4x6s, but in this case, let's just use a 4x5. Actually, let's say we wanted to do it with 2 4x4s. How would that look? That's kind of cute. I'm not going to lie. And it was matted. If you want to mat the one, but not all. Let me grab a mat just so we can fully capture what's happening here. Now, this space, again, among the sketch, is where a few accent pieces are. You may choose not to do these type of, accents and embellishments, but in this specific sketch, that's the bones, right? We got our borders, we got our photos, and we got the elements. Elements from our stash, elements from the accessories, utilizing your paper, whatever it is, these are the embellishments essence of it, right? That add to the vibe and that creative expression, because scrapbooking should be that combination of memory spotlighting and reflection versus and meets also with your creative expression, because it's that package that just makes it so fun and enjoyable and truly just a wonderful hobby. Okay, so let's say we did that. And then over here on the left side, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull out another photo mat so we can get a full picture of what kind of bones and or also kind of what's happening there. Let's say we did something like that. All right. And let's say we did 4 by... you know what? I'm not loving it. So let's go back to maybe a 5 by 4 on this side. And I love the tilting. It's different. Some of you guys might be like, I can never tilt a picture. I've heard scrapbookers say that before, and it's fair. It's a fair thing. If you can't tilt a picture, totally fair. But I also do think sometimes it's just fun to change it up and tilt some pictures. Like, why not? You know? So I think that's really fun. Let's go ahead and throw in, it's kind of like a waterfall cascading. We're going to use that inspiration that we found where it kind of the tuck in the photos, and we're going to allow it to kind of cascade down and around. Now, again, we're going to continue to evolve on this page as we go along. This may stick, it may not stick. We could choose to put our 7th one here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, yep, 7 pictures. We may choose to come up here and or down here and put another photo, right? So we're kind of, again, utilizing that sketch, maybe where it kind of has this extra little leaf tucked in here, you know, we're like, you know what, let's just add another little photo. Maybe we go smaller. Here we go. We pull in the mini photos now. Guys, you're probably tired of me hearing saying this, but I'm telling you right now, if you're a scrapbooker and do not have the photo mats and mini photos, they are a must. They will help you take the guesswork out of your scrapbooking, allow your photos to stay front and center, and allow you to just play and experiment like this event is all about. Okay, so that's kind of cute. I think that's kind of fun. All right, so now at this point, like I said, this specific sample and sketch that is our springboard, we went from 4 pictures up to 7 pictures. We adjusted our borders. We adapted those. We are not going to make it a fall layout because we want to adapt that even. And so even though some of those templates maybe fall, I mean, I will say what's lovely about the trees is that I could use the same templates, which in this case were from a Kiwi club. It was literally called the tree set from October 2020. So maybe if you have those, pull those back out. But it could be a summer page. And I think that's what I love about those tree sets. So yay for Kiwi Club and yay for those limited edition templates. So hopefully some of you guys have them, pull them out, because those trees can be made for spring trees, summer trees, winter trees, fall trees. So I said it's a fall layout, but you can even use the same templates and do a different season. So it's so fun to adapt it with the paper you're using. All right. So let's see, what type of layout am I doing? Let's say I was going to scrapbook these pictures, which are of my daughter and her, I almost said fiance.
Her husband.
Her husband.
It's official.
It is official. Guys, they were so happy. It was a beautiful day.
Beautiful day. I
need to share more pictures, but they were really, really came together. It was hot. There was heat warnings. There was heat warnings that day. We drove up to Raleigh. They got married in the temple up there in Raleigh, and then we came back here to Charlotte area for a reception. And it just was so Abby. We had very Italian vibe. She said specifically for her reception, she wanted a classy patio party is what she said. So me and Shiloh and a few friends made it happen. So she was so excited, and I was excited because she was excited. So, and David and I are excited to have a break. We are just excited to have a break. All right, so we could definitely do something here, right? I was talking about the templates here. I'm trying to think what alternative options can happen. I mean, if I was doing a beach, let me just throw that out. If I wanted to go the beach way, like because they had their pictures on the beach, you could definitely throw in a longer one like Oasis could be cute there and change it up that way. And, or we could do some different type of, I mean, if you were doing like Christmas trees, you could do that too. Little cute Christmas trees in that spot or something like that. That could be really cute. All right. But let me go ahead and throw in just a few elements over here. We kind of filled in the spot where the other elements and trees were, but that's again adapting naturally, right? But you can see those ideas coming to life and bringing those to light as we play and explore. So now use the DT checklist at this point, guys. If you don't have that, download it. You can go in and search trees and you can find various ones of templates from trees. You could search by the template name. You can search by different elements and it will pull up the template name so you can kind of see what you feel inspired to use in that case. I'm not going to use autumn, although autumn and trees are really fun and could be really great to use there. I might even pull in, you know what? We could even do some great journaling items there, kind of break up those. This is captions that maybe you would want to throw in. That one's a little too big for the space. Personally, I don't think it works. You could even do, nope, that doesn't look good either. We could throw expressions up here. Great places for journaling. And then honestly, if I did something like that to wrap this page up, I'd probably throw in just some tiny seaside or something like that to kind of give little details. And that's where the tinies come into play. Really nice is just little details that maybe you want to add in. Just little pieces there or there. Or what else we got? Yeah, it's really honestly really cute.
I was gonna say.
I know.
Starting to come together.
Yeah. So I think with all the chatting, I'm trying to pick up this template. There we go. I don't know. We're probably 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes in of just experimenting and playing. And I think that's, again, just so valuable why we constantly reinforce this first step of the play to create process, the design step, because it's instrumental in helping you to get out of your head, instrumental in helping you to, again, if you can see it, you can do it. So building that game plan and feeling like you have a way forward instead of staring at that empty page and second guessing yourself, just being willing to take the templates and know that nothing's permanent yet and experiment, even if you're adapting it for how many pictures you need, adapting it for your specific theme or memories that you're scrapbooking. All of that is so quickly possible if you're willing to play to create, and specifically even with the sketch, right? It's not exact, you know, and yet it was the springboard. So whether it's inspiration from the community or other places, so much can be had in that. I'm trying to decide, should we do one more or you guys kind of have to go? Let me know in the chat if you're up for one more sample of this lovely version. All right, let's see. I love the idea of including mini borders. Deborah Johnson, yes. Mini borders are fun. Even when I was looking at this, I think of a bookend whenever I do mini borders, and I tucked this mini border specifically. We could have done it as a, well, We could have done it as a top border. And when it's mixed with the 12 inches, I do always like to kind of, I don't know, put something there. And maybe it's just a personal thing. Like I kind of like it, but I love that layering and the stair stepping that happens within the borders. You often play with layerings and stair stepping with our photos or other elements because that could be even cute placed on top. So fun. So fun. Always more, Deborah says. Okay, well, we'll do a quick one. Quick way. Dawn says, I love the new organization system. It makes it so much easier to see all the template examples. Yay. Dawn, I'm so excited. You know, I say this every time. It is a lot of work if you haven't done it yet, to kind of get caught up with the new tabs in the organization. Like, just know we're there. Check out the event in the community, meaning we're there. There's an event you can watch or kind of hold your hand as best as we can through it. So definitely check out that event. But with that said, it is so worth it once you finish it. Listen, I know it's going to be a lot of work. I know it because I had to do it too, to get myself caught up in my own template organization. But boy, wasn't it great. Wasn't it great, Dawn? So, all right, I need one more page number then. Throw a number out there, guys, for me. As I clean this version up of this specific layout design, I'll pull out our other idea book that we have available in the shop, which is the volume 3. Both of these are available for digital. And if you missed it at the beginning of the event, we do have our physical idea books 20% off and also our digital idea books at 30% off. This is only for 24 hours. It's just a quick flash sale. We like to throw those up whenever we do these kind of live events here and there, kind of as a thank you for, hanging out with us, for your support and for your inspiration. But we also hope that you walk away with some inspiration from these events each time as well. Inspiration, motivation, whatever gets you back to setting some time on the calendar or helping you get, finish your next page. Your next page leads to your next page, right? So just taking one page at a time is key. And I think it's also key to just enjoying the scrapbooking process as a whole. It's just kind of taking one page at a time. All right. Okay. I think I got those all cleared up. Put the expressions back. The mini border. We'll put that back. All right. What is our page number, Dave?
The first page number was number 9.
Number 9. All right.
What do we have on page 9?
I don't know. Let's find out what we have on page number 9. All right. So I'm going to go again through this. Now I'm going to switch over to volume 3. We're going to flip through to page number 9. All right. So this is more of like finished pages. Again, sometimes you're looking at the papers and that can sometimes make you think of themes, but like we just talked about, you can adapt inspiration in whatever form it comes in. And I will say seeing these paper finish layouts, right, with the paper will also help you with figuring out what patterns to maybe put in what places. So paying attention to that too, seeing this more busier pattern is here and the more supporting patterns in the border can also help you and lead and guide you through what patterns maybe that you're using and how to layer them all together on a page. So I will say I love that about volume number 3 is that that's another added bonus of just seeing so many inspirations here. All right, so we actually have 2 layouts on page number 9. We have 2 of them. So
top or bottom?
I know, top or bottom, I don't know. Trying to think if there's one that just kind of like stands out to me. I will say this little, again, tilting of the pictures is really cute. I always love a good photo lineup and a good tuck in around the photos like that. Maybe we'll do a merging of the 2. We'll do a merging of the 2 and see where that kind of takes us in this next layout design. Cater to creating with many pictures. Does one book cater to creating with many pictures? You know what? It's not necessarily one, it's just samples. of that and then knowing a few tips in that, Charlotte. Meaning, so like some of these books do mention how many photos. So like it has right here on the tags, 8 photo layout, 7 photo layout. But then of course with that, and we're talking about adapting, which in the last one we adapted the photos. So I think knowing that you have the photo templates and knowing that you can experiment with the same springboard of inspiration is super helpful in helping you to add more or less. Oh, this is a great sketch, actually. This is 8 photos. I love that. That's the mini border right there being placed on that. This is on page 83, guys. That's a great little sketch right there. A layout. That's a really fun, since we're talking about photos. But with that also said, when I'm saying tips, like knowing where there's a 4x6, easy enough, put 2 3x4s, right? Knowing where we have like a photo lineup, you can alter that to, that's one of my major tips for adding more photos is any 4x6 you see, break that up with 2 3x4s and you have one more picture added. This could be another 3x4, 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 3x4. Easily you could turn this layout into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 picture layout by just focusing on 4x6s and related to that. But this one does mention how many photos, and also this one does have also 6 photos, 5 photos, right? So you can kind of see that throughout 8 photos, 5 photos throughout the books. It does list what it currently is, but again, adapting is instrumental in just exploring your options. All right, this was the page that we were on. All right, let's throw that in there. So right off the bottom, like the bottom one? I'm going to do a merging of the two. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to sit there and see what we can come up with. Okay. Deborah says, Charlotte, I use the sketches and I did books from Kiwi Club and I always add more photos more than the original sketch. Yes. Yes. So yes. So adaptable, especially as you play to create. Let's see. I'm going to throw in, we're going to keep this semi-easy for the most part. I'm going to do one of our one-stop sets because what's in here is kind of already pre-conditioned, I guess you can say. A lot of that heavy lifting and thinking and sizes and all of that stuff are already kind of great. So I don't have to pull from many tinies or anything like that. Well, I'm going to pull that out. We're going to see where that takes us. But with that, I want to pull out one of our trails because this layout up here inspired me for that. So I'm going to pull out, let's say, Happy Trails or Cascade Trails.
Ooh.
Oh, they're all great.
Classic or energetic?
Yeah, classic. Cascade Trails is pretty classic. Is that the one that's being used? Oh, it is. Okay, let's go with Cascade. I'm going to go with Cascade. It's what's being used. We'll let the inspiration of specifically what templates are listed here in that recipe inspire us as well on this layout. Okay. All right. So in this one, you can see we have the trails, which are a little different than our A-B borders being used up here, which actually really adds to the card movement, I think, in a fun way. So that kind of makes sense. But I'm going to throw in, let's just grab one of those pairs. And I'm going to start with the Cascade Trails because it kind of was one of those motivators. And if you want more of that thinner, you know, cleaner vibe to it, you could just use a trail. So you could do something like that. But if you mix that with a border, which in this case, this bottom layout here, it has a top and a bottom again. In our last layout, did we flip that border upwards or was it downwards like this too?
It was upwards.
Oh, it was upwards.
Behind it.
Oh, that's right. So we did it this way on our last layout. We're going to do it on this way on this layout. And I'm going to layer Cascade on top like that. So instead of the strip that we see on here, let's throw the Cascade in because it's kind of like that top layout. It inspired us. encouraging us. And then we'll just kind of mirror that same thing over here, like so. All right. And then we could throw photos in. We didn't get a photo number count. Let's do what's kind of similar to what these two layouts are. I'm going to stick to these two layouts a little bit more clearly. I really do love a good little tilt to the photos. And so I love how Shiloh kind of tilted that. We can even add in, you know, the 3.5s mixed in with the 4x4s. So the mini photos, the photo set will actually be your photo mats to the mini photos. And the photo mat set will be your mats to your photo sets. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. So I'm using mini photos on top of photo sets here. But again, those 3 photo sets, these photos and mini photos and photo mats are instrumental and compatible with just helping at this kind of photo stage. So that's kind of what that one had. And again, if we have a 4x6 like this, we could say an easy solution always is to add, like, you could do 2 photos like that, or we could do like 3x4s like that, or maybe, since these are all trimmed down, I will say that's something else I always pay attention to. If I'm going to crop my photos down, I actually like to keep cropped ones mixed with 4x6s. So you could crop down. So I'll go back to that really quickly. Right. In this case, you might crop all your photos down. But I don't know. I just feel like something, I don't know. I didn't really notice it until now, but I definitely think that's a thing for me. I always like to kind of keep a 4x4 or 4x5 or 4x6 mixed in with some of those. Now, oh, I closed my page. What page were we again?
9.
9. Okay. So maybe over here on this left side, if I was like coming to this left side, maybe, so we did this and this, and maybe we do kind of like where those two, we do something like that. And then 4x6. All right, and then maybe we use some embellishments. So you'll notice both of these. This one has a mat. And, ooh, that's a really fun tip. It's been a while since I've done that. But it has a larger mat. So here, let's say over here, we did a larger mat and we did a 4x4 on top of that mat. It creates this little space down here that you can kind of decorate on. In this layout, you'll see this like banner and a few tags, right? And the black is matting it to add depth and layers there behind that photo. And just a great fun place to add a little accent piece. So you could definitely do something really quickly that looks very kind of detailed, but in a simple way that adds a little bit more interest and elements to your page. And then over here on this bottom layout, we're going to steal from that too. We have this tucking in around your photos. And I always think that's so fun. Just decorating up behind your photos, adding something like that is always fun. In that case, maybe we, you know what? I kind of like, in this case, the elements kind of tucked around your photos. And then just imagine those borders being, you know, cut out of some pretty patterns and them kind of speaking on their own, those busier patterns being kind of left to their own, and then pulling those patterns and colors down and around, and then with your photos framed in there beautifully. Guys, there we go. There we go. We did it. We designed again. Again, we have some balance. We have a matted picture over here, 2 matted pictures over here. You don't have to mat all of your pictures. You have some elements tucked in around your photos. You have this beautiful frame with this fun little more playful layer instead of maybe a strip. You're replacing that with a fun trail. And that's kind of that nice combination of, you know, pulling in the trails meets the borders, and the tucking around the photos, and the tilting of the pictures meets the matting of your pictures and accents around it. So super fun. Hey, Kelly, thanks for saying hi. Love it. Yeah, it looks beautiful even without color, Amy says. It is exciting. It energizes you. And that's so valuable when we sit down to scrapbook, right? Like, no more should we stare at empty pages. No more should we feel uninspired. And what happens is just quickly, again, experimenting, playing, discovering. These are what is fun about letting that creative expression and just flow where it takes you. And it is beautiful, and it is fun, and does create energy. It does create energy, which is really great to find in our hobbies, right? We need that escape. We need that renewal when we sit down to scrapbook. So this is really fun. I love that page. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, we've missed you guys. It's been a hot minute. It's bittersweet. July is coming to an end. Don't forget to take advantage of this flash sale. So once again, we'll throw that back up here. We have 20% off physical idea books and 30% off digital idea books. You can head on over to kiwilane.com. Let me actually grab that for you. If you go to kiwilane.com and then you go up to products, and we're going to go to idea books, and I'm just going to click on the shop all, it will pull up the physical and the digital. If you want to just look at physical, then just click on the physical section of the idea books. Or if you want to look at the digital idea books, click at those. But ultimately, definitely take advantage of those. And like I said, at the beginning, when we do a print run of our idea books in the physical form, we've gone through, right, these 4 volumes so far. Although many of you guys are asking about volume 1 and other reasons, the reason why we offer a digital idea book years later is because it's just not quite cost effective after we go through that big first initial run. Sometimes we'll do a second print, which we've done on a few of these already. But usually when it comes to a few years, we don't do another print run because it's just, we have to order too large a quantity. So take advantage of this offering, save a little bit, and get these idea books before they're sold out in the current volumes that we have available. And of course, lots of inspiration to be found in these idea books, like we just discovered together. That was just the tip of the iceberg. So, and we all need that inspiration. I am not shy about that. I need the inspiration. You guys inspire me daily. So I appreciate you guys showing up and loving this hobby as much as we do. And definitely from one scrapbook to the other, we just really appreciate you guys being in the community and joining us. Dawn says, thank you and congrats to all your family events. Such an exciting month for all of you. It is. It really is. The camera roll is full of lovely memories. Definitely. Thank you so much for sharing that and saying that. I appreciate it. Pam says, thank you for showing us more ideas and thank you for the sale. You're welcome. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Until next time, keep playing to create, and we'll see you in the community. Bye now.